Are you feeling totally lost in the AI jungle? Yeah, you're not alone. It feels like every single week there's a new game-changing model that pops up, and it promises to be the one that solves everything. But, let's just cut through the hype. In this explainer, we are going to help you find the right tool for the right job so you can stop all the guessing and actually start building something cool. So this chart right here tells a really fascinating story. For what felt like forever, ChatGPT was pretty much the only name in the game. It was the undisputed king of AI. But the whole landscape is shifting, and it's shifting fast. You can see its market share has actually dropped a lot as new heavy hitters like Gemini have stepped into the ring. The AI race is really just getting started, and honestly, it's anyone's game now. Which, of course, brings us to the big question, the reason we're all here. This isn't about finding the one undisputed champion to rule them all. Nope. It's about finding the perfect tool for your specific needs. Whether you're writing code, you're trying to craft a killer marketing campaign, or you're analyzing a ridiculously massive report. Okay, so to answer that question, we first need to meet the main players in this very, very crowded arena. So let's dive in and take a look at the contenders. To really make sense of this field, let's give each of these contenders a personality. First up, you've got ChatGPT, who we'll call the versatile all-rounder. Then there's Claude, the careful thinker. You've got Gemini, the absolute speed demon. And of course, the open-source powerhouses Llama and Mistral. Each one has its own unique strengths, so let's see how they actually stack up in a few different scenarios. All right, first up, let's talk about coding. If you're a developer, which one of these AIs should be your go-to programming partner? Let's find out. This quote from a developer really gets to the heart of it. Look, for everyday, quick and dirty code, lots of tools work just fine. But when the stakes are high, when you're staring down a super complex bug or you're designing the entire foundation of a new system, developers are consistently turning to one model that prioritizes careful, step-by-step reasoning over just spitting out a fast answer. And the data absolutely backs this up. Take a look at this bar chart. On a benchmark that tests real-world, messy coding problems, Claude and Gemini are right there, neck and neck at the very top. They're clearly the go-to tools for tackling the toughest coding challenges out there. And to see this difference in action, we gave both AIs a pretty simple coding task. ChatGPT was kind of like a fast food cook. It gave us a solution that was quick and, yeah, it worked. Claude, on the other hand, was more like a gourmet chef. It took the time to create something polished, clean, and totally production ready. I mean, both get the job done, but the quality, well, it's all in the details. So, the crucial point is this. There is no single best AI coder. It's all about matching the tool to the task you're trying to do. For deep, complex debugging and writing really high-quality code, Claude is your specialist. If you're plugged into the Google ecosystem or you just need lightning-fast results, Gemini is an absolute beast. For quick prototypes and just broad general knowledge, ChatGPT is a super reliable all-rounder. And hey, for highly specialized tasks, open-source models like Mistral can be fine-tuned to perfection. Okay, from coding to content, let's switch gears and talk about writing. Whether you're a marketer, a blogger, a student, whatever, you're probably using AI to help you create content. But which model is the best wordsmith? Let's take a look. So we gave both AIs a simple proofreading task with some very specific formatting instructions. And as you can see, Claude followed the instructions to the letter. ChatGPT kind of missed the mark. This highlights a key difference. When you need an AI to follow complex, nuanced instructions, some are just clearly better at it than others. And what about marketing copy? We ran tests to see which model could generate the most compelling, value-driven headlines for a blog post. And time again, Claude came out on top. Its suggestions weren't just catchy, they actually managed to communicate the core benefit to the reader, which, as you know, is the absolute key to a great headline. So the takeaway for all you writers is pretty clear. If you need a partner that can adopt a natural tone and meticulously follow your detailed instructions, Claude is your go-to. For just fast, creative brainstorming and getting a solid first draft on the page, ChatGPT is fantastic. And if your content is more technical or needs to be grounded in real-time data, Gemini is definitely the strongest choice. Okay, now let's talk business. In the corporate world, AI is being used for some really high-stakes tasks, where accuracy, scale, and cost are absolutely critical. So let's see how our contenders perform in this arena. Get ready for a number that's just kind of mind-blowing. 1 million. 1 million tokens. That's the size of Gemini's context window. And I'm telling you, it is a complete game changer for businesses. Let me explain why.
So what exactly is a token? Well, you can think of it as a piece of a word. About 750 words is roughly 1,000 tokens. So a million tokens? That is massive. It's like feeding the AI a 500-page book, an entire code base, or a year's worth of financial reports, all at once. It can analyze the whole thing in a single go without losing track of the details from page one. This capability just unlocks a level of analysis that was pretty much impossible before now.
Of course, for any business, the bottom line is always a factor. And as you can see from this pricing table, when you're dealing with massive amounts of data, Gemini is often the most cost-effective option out there. For companies using AI at scale, this can translate into huge, huge savings. So the crucial point for any business is to align the AI's core strength with the job that needs to be done. For analyzing enormous volumes of data, Gemini's giant context window and its price point are just unbeatable. For tasks that require nuance and accuracy, like customer support or legal review, Claude's cheerful reasoning really shines. And for real-time applications and integrating with other tools, ChatGPT's huge plugin ecosystem gives it a really powerful edge. Okay, so we've looked at coding, we've looked at content creation, and we've looked at business. So what's the final verdict? Which AI is the undisputed champion? Well, the answer might surprise you. The smartest, most effective AI users out there, they aren't loyal to a single brand. They don't have a favorite. Instead, they're building a personal AI toolkit. They treat these models like specialized instruments, picking up the right one for the specific task at hand. That is the new skill, knowing which tool to use and when to use it. And to help you start building your own AI toolkit, here's a quick cheat sheet. For the most nuanced writing and high-quality code review, Claude is your go-to. For massive data analysis and getting real-time info from the web, Gemini is the powerhouse. And for just an all-around creative partner, ChatGPT is still a really solid choice. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the mental shift we all need to make. We have to stop looking for one king to rule them all and start thinking like a master craftsman, assembling the perfect combination of tools to build something amazing. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. As these tools become even more powerful and even more specialized, are we eventually going to see one master AI emerge that can do everything? Or will the future belong to those of us who can expertly manage a whole team of specialized AI agents? The answer to that is going to shape how we all work for years to come.